How does the earth work? All processes, whether animate or inanimate, occur through energy exchanges. The rules of how energy works are known, and they are the basic laws governing our home. The first law is relatively benign. It says that while energy can be converted from one form to another, it is neither created nor destroyed. For example, fossil fuels can be converted into heat, or electricity converted into motion. And here only the form has changed, not the quantity. However, the second law presents the problem. For while the quantity remains the same, the quality decreases. For example, fossil fuels cannot be recycled back into gas or coal, but are dissipated into the atmosphere as carbon dioxide. In order for the world's population to live the comfortable, orderly lives that the top fifth of us enjoy, several more planets would be necessary. But what about the sun? Is that not our hope? The endless source of energy beyond our finite planet? But here there is also a cautionary note, which we can see when we consider the three types of living things and where we human beings fit into the scheme. The first type are the producers, that is, the self-feeders, the plants, who convert the sun's energy through photosynthesis into carbohydrates. The plants and the microorganisms in the ocean are the foundation of the food chain, and all the rest of us depend on it. The second type of living things are consumers, and all of us fit into this category. Every living creature, from the microscopic to elephants, including human beings, are consumers. The third type is the decomposers, the bacteria and the fungi that release molecules to be recycled. Now, the important feature of this analysis of these types is where we fit. All we do is consume. As consumers, as only consumers, and increasingly the largest, most insatiable and selfish consumer the planet has ever known, we are becoming a great danger. Our 20th century culture is known as the consumer culture. We are identified in our society principally as consumers rather than as parents or workers or citizens. Given our highly vulnerable position in this food chain, it behooves us to proceed with caution, but in fact we are doing exactly the opposite. As our numbers increase, so do our wants, as well as our inability to distinguish wants from needs. We do not admit that every energy exchange costs. We do not, for instance, figure in environmental degradation when we price goods. Lumber costs do not include the services provided by a forest that is clear-cut, the wonderful services of air conditioning, control of soil erosion, medicinal biodiversity, recreation, etc. These essential services, ranging from climate control to hikes in the woods, are considered externalities by market economics and therefore without value. They're not factored into the price of products. This shocking practice is one of the clearest examples of our outrageous behavior as housemates. One of the most important forces behind behavior change is the belief that things can be different, that what we do makes a difference. A different world is possible. Rests on the belief in the human ability to imagine alternative worlds and to work for their realization. In a healthy ecosystem, everything is recycled. This will not be easy, for our consumer culture thrives on the exact opposite, throwing away. The reason for optimism, though, in regard to this massive task is that human beings have proven many times that they are capable of enormously complex enterprises if the will to do so is strong. But we have been living very differently. We human beings now control most of the Earth's food, water, and space at the price of other animals and at the price of other poor people. However, unlimited population growth combined with a high-energy lifestyle pushes the animate and inanimate energy sources of our planet to the limit. We cannot live without these others. They are not just the resource for our desires, they are the source of our existence. Why should theology be concerned with ecological literacy? Why should it trouble itself with such mundane things as plants, the second law, population, energy use? It all depends on what you mean by salvation. If salvation means the well-being of all God's creatures, and not just eternal life in another world for a few chosen human beings, then things like climate change, food, energy, consumer lifestyle, economics, forest and water management, these become theological issues. A theological anthropology must therefore be rooted in reality, in the way our earth functions, in the details of what makes for earthly flourishing. We can now see that ecological anthropology is neither an esoteric knowledge for specialists, nor is it a sentimental plea to love nature. Rather, it is the truth about who we are. At least it is the best truth that we presently have. It tells us where we fit in the scheme of things. It's a cautionary tale in light of the way that we have been living. It claims that our pretension to be in the center of the planet instead of one of its neediest creatures is false. It tells us, in other words, that we have been living a lie.